diversify because you got something successful and then you moved. You do that, that's awesome. I do that now. Will, you probably want to add to that.
No, I agree with that. And like, if you do find something and you want to diversify, then take it to another traffic source. And that's a lot of what I do. I'm always trying to be a small fish in a big pond. Just because I've been, like, the people that know my story know that I've been burned. I've had to rebuild from basically zero twice already in my online career. So I don't like to have all my eggs in one basket and have like one niche running on one traffic source. I want to be in one niche, but have like, 8 or 10 different traffic sources funneling leads into it. So that's my style. So it does tie in. It's not everybody's style. Some guys just want to go with one source, one offer, and boom, go as big as they can and scale it. And then those are the guys, though, that they've never been burned and they've never had it pulled out from under them. So they don't know yet what's going to happen. And as soon as they do, then they start going, oh, man, I wish I diversified, because then I wouldn't be rebuilding from square one, literally, again. So that's kind of my style. I am very much diversity. I love it. But I do agree, too, that you can't be trying to learn all these different traffic sources at once. You have to pick one or two, focus on those, master them, then add in another, and keep building it that way.
Yeah, and it's a good point you made about diversifying the traffic. That's different than diversifying too many markets. 10 markets would be very difficult. It's tough to manage. I mean, you have to know how to speak to 10 different groups of people. So in terms of traffic, yeah, if you get something working in your market and you've dominated one traffic source or you've gotten it really successful, look at what's similar and then start scaling out. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your guys' choice, not mine, not Will's. We can't really pick that for you. We have a lot of people in the forum. They're like, well, not a lot of people, but you have a couple of people in the forum where they're like, give me a market and give me, and we make suggestions, but at the end of the day, it is your choice. And hopefully it's going to follow, it's going to be one of those big ones. King number 2 is the offer, okay? Especially important for CPA marketers, okay? Fact is, if they don't want it, they don't want it, okay? And all that means is if you're trying to push water uphill or trying to push a boulder uphill by promoting some offer that nobody wants, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just not going to work, right? The offer might just suck. The advantage of the pseudo merchant model that I showed is that you can tweak the offer yourself, okay? You can tweak the offer yourself until you get it converting very, very well. In CPA marketing, a lot of this comes down to the buddy with your affiliate manager, getting good feedback from them. Again, a good affiliate manager will say things like, well, if you have female diet traffic, so they'll be demographic based. They'll say, try running this or try running that. Also be careful how much an affiliate manager shares with you. If they start sharing other people's ads and landing pages, don't show them any of yours, because chances are they're going to show the next new affiliate that stuff. So just be a little careful when it comes to that. But for the most part, be buddy with them, and but keep them still at arm's distance and that sort of thing. One thing also to keep in mind, if the offer is converting for other people and not yourself, then you have a mismatch between your market angle and the offer. It's as simple as that. Don't overcomplicate it. It's simply you're just not connecting the dots properly. Okay, so in the forum and whatnot, we go into more detail on that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, if it is converting for other people, it can convert for you. You just have to find the right angle. King number 3 is your click-through rate. Obviously, conversion rate is extremely important, but click-through rate is the most important factor for getting cheap traffic. Okay, whether you're on a cost per click bidding setup or you're on a CPM, cost per thousand setup, right? The higher your click-through rate is, essentially the cheaper traffic you get. Okay, so bidding higher, right? Our bid high, budget low. Bidding higher gives you higher visibility, and what that tends to do is give you a higher click-through rate. Now, a good idea, especially if you're starting out, is to optimize to click-through rate first. So look at your click-through rate first, then your conversions afterwards. I know it can kind of seem a little backwards, but when you optimize to click-through rate first, you see what first point of contact is working best for your prospects. Now, here's an important point. Write this down. Optimize click-through rate first. Yes, ads are so important, but don't make the ads ridiculous just to get a high click. I'm sure you've probably seen ads on Facebook, for example, where there's a hot girl in the ad, and then you click on the ad and it goes to some internet marketer's page. Has nothing to do with hot women. Okay? That's a ridiculous disconnect. all that's doing is getting a high click-through rate for the sake of high click-through rate, but I can almost guarantee that the conversions are much lower than if they sacrificed a lower click-through rate but really pre-framed the offer well. Okay? So keep that in mind. Don't get too cute. Don't get ridiculous, but go for imagery that is, imagery or ad writing and that sort of thing that is relevant. It's your first point of contact with prospects, so you want to sell the benefits. Things like shock, fear, numbers, question marks, blue underlined text, scroll bars, all that sort of stuff increases click-through rate. The book Cashvertising is a fantastic book. I've been recommending it for a while. It's great for writing short copy for ads and that sort of stuff. And to show you just some examples of some older ads that I've run, these are some right here. Teeth whitening. This is all older stuff for the most part. Get ripped in 30 days. This is my original one. It's great to see this ad running on Men's Fitness, which was pretty cool. Very reputable site, and then you see this ridiculous ad running there. But at the end of the day, that ad pulled higher than any, in terms of click-through rate, pulled higher than any ad that the guys at Men's Fitness had seen at the time. So, it's ugly. All this stuff's ugly, but they do work. Breakthrough number 3, very quickly, find the traffic first, okay? So beginning and intermediate marketers, they make the mistake of basing their campaigns around offers, okay? So at the end of the day, offers will come and go, but evergreen markets last long, okay? Aggressive trends are the only exception in the sense that, when the iPhone, American Idol finale was like last week, right? So, in that case, if you put a campaign together for American Idol, like a poll campaign, right, that Will's talked about a lot, then yeah, that's an exception to that. Again, where does your market hang out? Okay, leverage existing trust. Okay, this is why fan pages often work. This is why buying a campaign. I have a campaign right now running on a major political site that looks a lot like, the ads look a lot like the actual site itself. It makes people think that it's an actual news article at the site that they're going to, okay? Very much leveraging trust. That's a huge way to do it. Buying sponsored blog posts on people's blogs is another way. Again, it's usually based around demographics, and always remember that offers are meant to be plugged in and not just plugged, so not just promoted. They're meant to be put into a stream of traffic instead of, saying, oh, that offer went down, now I'm screwed. So again, pseudo merchant for the win. The pseudo merchant system works perfectly for that. So speaking of traffic, I'm going to finish off this call here by showing you my entire traffic rollout blueprint, and I'm going to show you some of the traffic sources that I use and recommend, especially for beginners as well. So don't worry if this kind of looks complicated or whatever else. This is kind of how deep the rabbit hole goes, as I talked about. This is how you, starting with self-serve traffic, you can start getting into a world of different monetization options. The initial testing is often down here. Often self-serve type stuff. So Facebook, Plenty of Fish, Traffic Vance, Lead Impact, right? Google Display Network. Here, small direct-to-site buys. This isn't, self-serve, but it's still very powerful. So testing demographics and placements here, right? This is where you're going to test demographics. You're going to build what's called a proof of concept. You can make millions here alone, but it's volatile in some affiliate markets. Obviously, we love Google Display Network, not just not Google, right? They're a little strict with us. Keep in mind with this, guys, I can't make guarantees based on the niche, right? I need to know the niche you're in. But the pseudo merchant option allows you to run easier on Google than just about any other CPA or affiliate method would, okay? Except direct linking some offers that they're okay with, which are few and far between. So that's another bonus with the pseudo merchant setup. Other than collecting the leads and stuff, you can often run on networks that are cracking down more on affiliates. After that, I get into large site media buys, more CPV, network buys. Then it gets into, if you're generating your own leads, so again, pseudo merchant, right? You can start paying affiliates. If you know that your dollar per lead is $2 per lead, you can start paying affiliate buddies $1 for every opt-in that they send you. SMS sequences, you can sell off a lot of the email leads you get, lead exchanges, call centers, lots of stuff you can do after the fact. Don't want to confuse you too much here, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of ways you can go if you do that pseudo merchant type of setup that we talked about. For our purposes here, look at the bottom part of this chart here. That's where you usually want to start. You can go to large site buys if you have the money. So there's tons of places to buy traffic. This is some of the criteria I look at, and I suggest you look at this as well. Personally, I like large-scale direct-to-site media buys. Okay, bottom line, they're easy to target, self-serve. It's easy to manage looking at one site, and there's some big sites out there that can deliver a lot of volume. You can buy $1,000, $2,000 worth of traffic from one site, and then you go on to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, and it's much easier to manage all, specific sites and a bunch of networks. Problem with that, it's too expensive for most starting out. Okay, $3,000 to $5,000 minimums is often what you're looking at, unless you can negotiate very, very well. So if you got the money to do it, if you're on the call right now and you got the money to do it, then do it. Look into doing that. Beginner or not, though, what we need is a scalable traffic source. We need something that we can spend $100 a day just as easy as we can spend $1,000 a day or $5,000 a day, okay? We don't want it so that we cap out our traffic source and we got to find something else. Google AdWords is fantastic. We all know their quality is awesome. If you don't think Google's quality is awesome, you are doing it wrong. I kind of laugh a lot of times when people say Google's traffic sucks. It does not suck. It is some of the highest quality traffic out there. But they're not the easiest if you're an affiliate and you don't give your firstborn. So the pseudo merchant thing helps, sure, but at the end of the day, they're still not big fans of affiliates. There are some offers still allowed, but it can be tricky. Again, great traffic. So what I recommend the following four sources for those starting out with lower budgets, and they're still very, very scalable, where you can spend more than $1,000 a day if you had to. So Facebook, plenty of fish. Lead Impact tends to have more volume now than traffic source, and small direct-to-site media buys. Okay, so small direct-to-site media buys, that's the only one that's not self-serve. Okay, so often the lazy people don't go there, but there are some benefits there as well. It gets you used to media buying. Facebook, I don't have to go into that. Huge volume. They are cracking down a bit more on affiliates. The pseudo merchant setup does help a lot on Facebook. Okay, so it will help you there. Plenty of fish. We love those guys. CPM bidding only, but get used to CPM bidding, and you'll be miles ahead of everyone else who's stuck on cost per click. They love affiliates. They're great with affiliates. I love those guys. They're awesome. Lead Impact, Traffic Vance. I tend to find cost per view to be a little more risky, CPV to be a little more risky and expensive for beginners. A lot of beginners like it. I tend to find it more expensive. Plenty of Fish is a great option. Obviously, Facebook is as well. So let's recap what we've learned tonight. Okay, what we've learned today in the past hour. So you know now why the pure affiliate game is a tough one to win. Okay? We gave you a solid strategy that eliminates the typical affiliate problems, and it gives you the benefit of an offer or a product owner without all the headache like customer support and all that sort of stuff. Now, what it allows you to do, it allows you to beat up and push other affiliates out of the way. Bottom line, it allows you to brute force people out of the way. I then told you how to get fast traffic for this strategy or any other, and how to do it in a safe way without leaving you broke. And finally, we gave you some of my big traffic breakthroughs and favorite traffic sources to start earning fast. So what now? Okay, choose what I want you guys to do now. If you're a little confused on what to do, or up until now you haven't really had a battle plan, this is what I want you to do. Or maybe you're hopping around from stuff. Choose one market to serve. Okay, number one, choose one market to serve. You can go broad if you have the budget, but at the end of the day, choose one. Don't jump into 5, 10 different markets. Like, to give you an idea, I have about 5, 6 projects going on, but they're only in about 2 to 3 unique markets. And even for myself, that's hard to manage. Okay, it's tough to manage. So don't do that. If you're starting out, even if you're intermediate, stick with one. If you don't have a lot of money to outsource, then stick with one and drive it home and go hard there. Try to choose one traffic source to master now. Just get good at traffic and conversions. That's all you need to make tons and tons of money. Okay, so most can make 4 figures a day. Most of the ones, well, all the ones that I showed you today can make 4 figures a day. Okay, start plugging in high converting offers into those markets and into that traffic. Okay, build your own thing out, like the pseudo merchant stuff. Get some stability. Build something that you can monetize and make money on 2, 5, 10 years from now. Next up, master principles and forget hype. That's a big thing. Your inbox is probably getting bombarded with tons of different guru launches or whatever else. Forget the hype and just focus on the principles. And those principles are always going to be traffic and conversion. If you master traffic and conversion, number one, that's all you need to make millions for yourself. Number two, you are sought out by a lot of people. I'm sought out all the time by people to run their offers. Will is sought out in an agency respect to run people's offers. Okay, so when you have those master skills, traffic and conversion, I don't care what anybody else says, you get the golden ticket. Okay, so that's all you got to master. Stay in there. Understand that education in traffic and conversion will pay you off better than just about any education you could get. And always believe and know that you can do it. I was on a very similar call, almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I was on a very similar call as this one right now, and a few of those things that I picked up were able to get me to my first 4-figure day and beyond. So just understand that it's very important, the stuff that I showed you. And obviously you want to make sure that you have the right training and your right support team behind you. You got to learn how to do it the right way, and then apply, and then go back and test and tweak and that sort of stuff. So now, if it's all right, guys, what I'd like to do, we'd like to give you an opportunity to get access to what many people have called the best training forum on traffic and income generation that they've ever seen. So I'm sure you guys can agree that after all that, and it really pays to hear this sort of stuff from someone who's in the trenches already making a full-time living this way. And I think a big problem, and Will would agree, is a big problem in this industry is that a lot of people teaching make their money that way and not by actually doing it. So a while back, a couple of years back actually, I started to share a lot of my information on my blog, and through that, I got a bunch of people asking me for more information and that sort of thing. So long story short, I had tons of people asking me for coaching and that sort of stuff. And personally, I didn't have much time for it. Even now, as I mentioned, I've got maybe 2 one-on-one people, now 1 really. So I didn't really have a lot of time for it. Now, out of the blue one day, I used to be a member of PPC Coach actually. And out of the blue one day back in October, Will approach me about a new kind of training form, okay? Something different than a lot of the ones that are out there right now. So it was kind of a great opportunity since he had already been training people for a very long time, and I wanted a way to help people out as well. So very quickly, what we did is we formed what has become the fastest growing private training forum out there right now, and we call it 6monthsfromtoday.com. Now, the reason we call it 6 months from today, well, bottom line is we've found that the 6-month mark is when a lot of people tend to make or break it, or sometimes they quit. So our goal, it says it right on the front page, is to get you profitable as fast as possible. So the forum contains everything that we know about marketing with paid traffic. That's media buying, cost per view, Facebook strategies. Basically anything you ever wanted to know about traffic and conversion is in there. In fact, when we launched, we took a lot of our content and we had about 100 and 150 posts in there before people actually even signed on. So a lot of real good content, stuff that would be in like $1,000, $2,000 courses, and it was already preloaded in there, so it's already in there. And the other thing that it also includes, full tutorials on the pseudo merchant strategy that we touched on tonight, as well as how to technically set it up. Now, obviously, in the 1 hour we had, I couldn't go into how to track it correctly and that sort of thing. So we have full tutorials in the forum as well for there. And we also include my very newbie-friendly CPA course, Profit 101, as a free bonus. So from beginning to end, you can learn about the CPA industry in depth and also all the top producing traffic methods for 2012. And so that's thrown in there as a bonus. And you're going to get it as a free bonus, like I said, just for signing up to the private coaching forums if you decide to do that. And now we've been really grateful to have received so many kind words about the forum and success stories already. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share a few of them with you here right now. This is one of our members here. Her name's Vivian, and she said, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but she said, I was one of the first 100 members to join 6 months from today. All I can say is wow and thank you, Chad and Will. They've been holding my hand, helping me each and every day with any questions I have since the beginning. Another one from Alex. Best of all, I get numerous chances to interact with Chad and Will in the main forum and the Idea Incubator forums. These two guys are successful marketers, have offered me many helpful suggestions and strategies, etc. These reviews are on a site called imreportcard.com. Feel free to go check it out and look out 6 months from today, but there's actual real reviews right there, and people have been really, the thing is, a lot of other forums, the actual forum owners aren't in there as much as the moderators, and I know myself, I have about 3,000 3,500 posts in there myself because I'm in there all the time, and Will's in there quite a bit. He's got tons of posts in there as well. So it's quite a departure from a lot of stuff that you see out there right now. This is one of our success stories, just one of them. There's quite a few in the success stories forum, but this is from Biker Boy, a guy named Alfred. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he says, so far my best day is $745 in revenue, 93% ROI. And actually, this is a little older, that post. Alfred is now, I think so far he's at about $10,000 he's generated, and very short. Like, he hadn't really made any money, not much anyway, before the forums. And so he's done really, really well now with what he's learned. Will, you had something to say?
Yeah, he was as green can be when he came in. He knew nothing, and now he knows so much, and he's doing so well. So
absolutely, awesome. Yeah, he's doing. It's just awesome to see guys that didn't have a lot of experience and they're kicking ass now. So what's inside? I'm going to talk real briefly what's inside here. First of all, we have a members-only private CPA network. It's called Max EPC Network. Only members of the forum are allowed to get access to it. So obviously, it's pretty much instant approval. So if you had trouble getting approved for CPA networks, you can get in there. We have the main forum. This is where anything and everything can be talked about in terms of marketing and that sort of stuff. We do monthly Q&A webinars. We actually have one coming up. It should be in the next week or so, I guess. We should do that one pretty quick here. We have monthly Q&A webinars, right? So people can come on, and for 1 hour, they can just ask any questions they want of us, and we'll answer them, no problem. We have the newbie Q&A and essential learning section. All the traffic-specific stuff is in subforums. So we got one for PPC, CPV, SEO, email traffic, right? Email's a big part that I like to talk about. Facebook ads, plenty of fish. More than just CPA. The Learning Center right here, I like to talk about, things like the pseudo merchant, business models, sales funnels, blah, 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 blah. So if you've ever wanted to get past later on, let's say later on you want to go past CPA marketing, you want to make the big, big money as a merchant or an offer owner, well, I talk about a lot of that here. I have a lot of my product information in here and that sort of stuff. Daily diaries, you can watch people have a daily diary, follow-alongs and case studies. Private discussion. This is the private area where if you want to post something or an idea or a campaign, but you don't want everyone to see it, you don't want to out it, you can post that right in here. And, of course, we have video tutorials that people have recommended and suggested. We shoot those and we put those in the video tutorial section. And now, not only will you get great coaching in the main forums, but we also offer a few tools that will help you with building and running your campaigns. The first one we give you guys kind of a hookup on and a resource for, Social Ad Manager. This is for managing Facebook ad campaigns, and this is one that we kind of give you the link, and I shot a quick video tutorial on how to use it. It's an awesome, awesome platform that I use very regularly. PPC generator tool. This is a script that I've used for a long time, and we put it in the forum, absolutely free again as a bonus. It helps you build AdWords and MSN Ad Center campaigns extremely quickly, and it helps you split up the amount of words per key ad group and all this sort of stuff. So very powerful. And a mobile squeeze page tool. You remember that mobile squeeze page that I showed you before? Well, if you want to know how to format one that it fits onto a iPhone, that sort of thing, you don't have to worry about it. You just paste your autoresponder code or whatever in there, and there you go. It gives you a mobile formatted page instantly with a push of a button. It takes about 30 seconds. So there's tons of content in the forums, obviously, but at the same time, we've made it very simple to navigate, and we tell you which posts to start out with. You can literally take one section of the forum and build your entire business around it. So there's no need to read all the content before you start making money. So Will and I, what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys a great opportunity right now because we're on this offer vault call. We wanted to give you a special bonus and a ridiculous price. And so similar private forums will run you between $80 to $100 per month. Okay, that's pretty much the industry standard now. Today on this call, though, guys, what you can do is you can get in and you can get full access for only $1. And what that's going to give you, that's going to give you full access for 14 days, complete access to everything, my bonuses, the Profit 101, all that sort of stuff. And if you want to stay on after, it's only $49.99, and so that's well below the industry standard of $80 to $100 for the type of info that we share here. So if you want to take advantage of that, guys, we'd love to have you inside. Just head over to this link right here. It's 6monthsfromtoday.com/offer vault. Okay, and that's going to claim your spot for $1. Okay, so now remember, it's important to remember that jumping into paid traffic, it's a big leap for some people. Jumping into all this stuff is a big leap. So as mentioned, I'm giving you my Profit 101 course as an extra special bonus 6 months from today to kind of bridge the gap for those of you that haven't made your first dollar online. If you're more advanced, great. We got more advanced stuff like cloaking and that sort of stuff that we talk about in there, and we got resources for. So great. I can go just as advanced as you need. Will can too, so that's not a problem. So what you can do is, all you got to do is 6monthsfromtoday.com/offer vault. You know, Profit 101's got a real world value, about $97. I sold it at that price point for a while. And, you know, we're making it as a free bonus again to 6 months from today, as well as all the tools, full 14-day access for only $1 if you sign up from the link below right now. And again, 6monthsfromtoday.com/